everybody. It is Cinnamon Cooney, your art Sherpa, wearing a silly hat and getting ready to teach you guys how to paint this vampire's kiss. This is a kiss with vampire teeth and a little bit of blood. This is going to be really fun because I'm going to show you how to get red on red effectively, which can be really, really challenging when you're new to painting because you're like, it's all red. How is this done? But I'm going to totally show you how, step by step, so you can make this at home. If you check the description below, you're going to find a list of materials, links to our website where there is, of course, a traceable, because I do not believe you have to draw to paint. It's nice to do both, but, you know, today doesn't have to be that day. The on the mic is my husband, John. He's going to be tracking me.
Yes, with cameras.
With cameras, tracking me on all 3 cameras and our palette cam to make sure that you guys can see what I'm doing and also around my interesting head arrangement. I'm a quail today. Head arrangement today.
It's dimensional.
Yeah, I liked it and I refused to change it and now I'm here.
There you are.
Here I am.
With a feather in your cap.
With a feather in my cap. So that's what I did today. Are you guys ready to paint?
They are very much ready for this. They are loving 13 Days of Halloween. Everyone in here is commenting on how much fun it has been to just to have all of these paintings and to have the live shows to come to and to hang out in, and they're really enjoying coming.
Seriously, let me know in the comments below that you guys are liking this because there's been some crazy feedback this journey, and I would love some positivity.
Oh yeah, everybody's just been really enjoying this. They're looking forward to doing the teeth today.
The teeth. And we're going to talk all about the teeth and this red on red and how to get this cool drip effect. And also, and this was really cool because this came up in the Facebook group. Somebody said, am I going to paint this canvas all the way black and then paint the red over it? Am I painting it like I did Elvira, where I'm leaving the white? And today the answer is we've done the part where you guys paint the canvas black and paint the lips over it a couple times. This time I'm going to show you how to keep the canvas white.
Gotcha.
So that you can keep those reds super duper vibrant, even if you're painting craft paint, and craft paint is real paint, right?
Yep.
So no matter what you're painting with, this should give you a better result. Let's look at our materials.
Now, you got some wishes in there already?
No, I do not have wishes.
Oh, well, that's good because Laura had a wish that you could put in for her daughter today.
All right, I'm happy to.
She wasn't sure how to do that. Now, if you guys want to get wishes, you can put them in before the show. You can try to get them in all caps. But if we have a forum on our website where we try to capture those as well. So we've got those. We've got some wishes for everybody around the world who's having who's suffering from acts of other people. And I dare say that there's all sorts of acts of violence and outrage around the world that we're trying to.
Oh, I know it. Let's embrace the differences in each other and our kinder nature for peace.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best way for us to do that. And because we're not all going to be the same. We're not always going to agree. No. And
we have to learn as a species to be okay with that calmly. Twitter, I love my Twitter account. Definitely follow me on Twitter. I'm the bomb on Twitter because it's never stressful. But Twitter itself can be stressful.
Yep.
And I don't think leads to world peace. Just a personal feeling, haven't been out there in the Twitterverse.
And for all the wishes that are coming in, we have a time delay, so we can't catch all of them. Our light keepers are going to do their best to catch those and put
I can catch one more if you see one come in.
Yeah, if we could we have a lot of people who are going to be going up through surgery soon, or they're having biopsies or medical issues. So if we can capture best wishes for everyone who's having medical issues right now.
Successful surgery and good results on biopsies.
Mm-hmm.
I have one for Houston and Florida and Puerto Rico and everyone that's been hit. I've been seeing a lot of damaged house pictures come in. And so I'm just wishing that everybody gets back into their safe living space soon. Everybody around the globe.
Safe families, safe homes.
Yeah, safe homes. Wherever you live, please, safe homes, water, electricity, well-being. I wish that for you.
And for everybody who's all the wishes that we aren't catching, thank you for putting them on your canvas. We call you guys light keepers, and we really appreciate you helping capture those wishes and make sure that they get put out there in the universe. You got that feather. You trying to tuck the feather in now?
I thought it was funny. It's. I think I'm going to go with the netting.
You like the netting? Okay.
It's less irritating. The netting was a little irritating, but it's less irritating than the feather. Okay. Yep.
So
I'm going to show you guys how I do my traceables.
What canvas are we on?
9x12 canvas.
9x12 canvas.
This is a canvas board. Over here I have these colors. I'm going to be using black gesso, but you could use black paint. You could use fluid paint. I've got phthalo blue. I've got Diox purple. I have a good titanium white here. And here's the key to this. I've got a cool red. This particular red is a alizarin crimson.
Yeah.
And this one is cad red medium. And see how this one has almost a blue cast to it? It's real deep. It is like blood.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is quite warm. Now, using these exact colors will give you stunning results, but if you don't have them, just look in your paint kit and go, what's a very darkish purple red and what's an orangish red? That's what you're looking for. And then I'm going to be using the purple to even make deeper shadows. How cool is that? But first, I must trace the teeth on. I must. So I have the traceable here, like you do, and I'll put on my Sorel transfer paper.
Oh, you've been really using that stuff a lot here.
I like it, and also it saves me having to rub my pencil on the back of my tracing paper, which I usually do.
It's a little time saver there.
I'm feeling a little lazy lately. Doing 3-4 paintings a day has made me a little lazy lately.
Well, you know what I like about
I
it?
miss that light day of daily painting when I just did one painting a day and I was done. Oh, the good old days.
Yeah, right. You wouldn't stop painting even if somebody. If we only gave you one painting a day to do, you'd go
I would
crazy.
feel like I wasn't working anymore.
You'd
Like,
go-
that's how much I paint now. I would be like, I'm not really doing very much today. I just did one painting.
But what I like about that Serral transfer paper stuff is that the different colors. How it like I've
The
noticed.
sample pack has that, is the different colors. So I've taped everything down so it moves on me less.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to use my little pink pencil here and trace over my lines.
Yeah.
So that I know, what I got. What I got. Wait, no, wait a little low. Sometimes it's really weird. I get a little wonky with my tracing. Like, seriously. When people are like, I'm a really good tracer, I actually respect that because I actually feel that's a skill. I'm like, oh yeah, I totally know what you mean. I'm not. But I trace adequately. If that makes sense.
Seems like you trace pretty well.
Well, John and I were talking today about like art and where we're strong and where there's more work to do, and we're talking about the mechanics of art. And I have really good organic artistic expression, but sometimes my mechanical work could use work. My mechanics could use some work. I'm definitely going to put in the drip. You don't have to put in the blood drip, but I'll tell you, you're going to learn a lot from it about how to get reflections.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be glad you did it. Maybe. Unless you really, really have a blood trigger. And then this was a terrible painting for you to do. What are you doing? Wait for the 3 happy ghosts. It's coming tomorrow.
Now, Lady Fair was asking, what kind of tape are you using?
This here
Yeah.
is tracing paper. I'm just using the Strathmore 9x12.
The tape, sorry.
Oh, the tape is artist tape.
It's just some art.
But listen up. I get my artist tape at such a reasonable price. And you guys were talking like, for you guys, it was like $8. So you can also just touch your masking tape to your denim jeans 5 or 6 times. Get a lot of lint on it. And then you can have some artist tape too. I'm just saying, it's just a low-tack tape.
No, I don't know if that.
There we
but
go. That's pretty nice.
Now, there is, just to say, there is some advantage to artist tape because it is non-acidic and it's archival and it has a whole lot of like really specialty properties to it. So it's not to say that it doesn't have a time and a place.
Right.
But for most of us who are just taping some tracing paper to a canvas board, some tape on your leg is going to work just fine, right?
You know what I've done here, John?
No, I don't.
I have traced this too far over to the left.
Would you like another canvas?
No, I'm going to show them. Like, what if they didn't have another canvas?
You get a blue piece of Serral paper?
I'm going to get a blue piece.
Oops.
No, this is a thing that could happen to you. This could happen to you. You could trace your image, trace it in the wrong positioning where you don't like its placement, and need to do it again. And you might, like, freak out, like, oh my gosh, these red lines are totally here. Right?
So
I'm just trying to place this central because I want my lips to be central on my canvas, not sided to one side or the other particularly.
Now, see, if you've already seen us trace it on, this is a good time to hit pause, run and get a cup of coffee, and come back, and then hit
Sorry,
play on
guys.
fast forward, and then you'll get the time-lapse version.
But if you're new here and you're just wondering how do you cope with a mistake as an artist, basically I just go with the soldier forward method.
Yes.
I'm just like, okay. Literally, it's I get real Daria about it where I'm like, now I want to really, really see my blue lines now, so I'm going to press a little harder and make them a little thicker and more noticeable.
Yeah.
So that I have a bit of dyslexia, and this will help my brain not get confused by all the lines. I would say this method is probably hardest if you're easily confused by a lot of lines, which I am.
Why are you using a pink pencil?
Just so I can see where I've been. Normally I would get another colored pencil so I could go back over all this.
So that was just the color pencil that you had.
I just didn't want to, we're already retracing. But I decided to not get a new canvas because I felt that there was value in showing you guys how I handle it. Right? Yeah. There's value in facing mistakes. In life and in art. Sometimes I see people go to incredible lengths to avoid facing their mistakes in their art or their life, and I just think, man, just keep going. Painting will work out in the end. That being different than, what you think another person, like you might think another person made a mistake and they might be like, no, I'm really happy with my choices.
Right.
So that's really just preferentially. I'm having to really go over it thoroughly to make sure because I'm retracing. Let's see how I did. Because after this, I'm freehanding. I'll tell you that.
It's very, you can barely see it on the camera. See, we're having to paint a really dark canvas today, so the cameras are adjusted for darkness.
But now you can see how this is, I fixed it.
Oh,
it's adjusted here, and I can put out, it's going to get much easier when I put out my black gesso.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put out my black gesso. You can put out black paint. I just want a black field on my canvas. And I'm going to take my number 8's cat tongue. I'm going to dip it in water, drag off the extra, load up my brush by going into the paint, pulling, flipping the brush, pull. This is actually how I get a lot of paint in my brush. And I'm going to just trace around my blue lines. And again, because I deal with a little bit with how my brain orders information and gives me data, especially when it comes to symbolic things, I find there's other weird side effects to that too. Though, you know what I've just learned today, John?
What did you just learn today?
Besides that I should pay more attention to what I'm tracing. There's an app for that. So in group today, somebody was saying...
There's an app for tracing?
There's an app for everything. I have now come to realize I'm going to really go back in and evaluate on the App Store. John and I are going to go in and we're going to find some really great art apps you guys need to know about.
Yes.
Because today somebody was talking about being colorblind and trying to deal with that in painting and knowing what colors they were using. And some loving, kind person found an app that sees the color for you and tells you what it is.
Ooh.
Isn't that incredible?
That's very interesting.
And I said to myself in my little brain, there's an app for that. Now, true as humanity, we probably need an app for kindness and social media courtesy. But until then, I'll take these art apps.
I have some friends in San Francisco who are working on an app.
I know. Isn't Jason working on an app on how to be just a nicer person?
Yeah, he's been working on that for various programs for years.
He's trying so hard. I can fix it. I can fix humanity. They're all going to be nicer. We just need to show them how.
They've been doing some really cool work, too.
I know. It is pretty awesome.
So...
All right, so I'm just painting the whole canvas black, guys. But I'm keeping my lips white because I want my reds to pop, pop, pop.
To pop. Well,
pop, pop, pop.
And I guess to make your reds pop, 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 you have to make your blacks recede, recede, recede.
Well, that, and I've got to remember, sometimes I'm painting with golden paint. And golden paint is like the bomb diggity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are several paints on the market that they just got a lot of pigment. and they just get themselves on a canvas and do what they're supposed to do. But, you know, that's not always in everybody's budget. And, you know, I listen to you guys when you talk to me about what your experiences are. And so on some of these, I'm just trying to make some adjustments. So if you're painting with something else at home, you're going to get a good result too.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. That's all, my friends. Notice how, like, I have to come back because there's this thing. I'll paint over the canvas, and then as the paint dries, the film pops.
Oh, yeah.
Because, you know, what am I basically painting with? Liquid plastic with a pigment in it.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. All right. I'm just enjoying this so much. Just so much.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I am feeling a little bit better. I'm now at that part of the cold where it's like I'm coughing at night.
Right.
So that's super fun. All right. I'm going to rinse this out. I need a smaller brush because guess where else I'm going to put some black inside the mouth. A vampire's mouth is the blackest hole. Okay. So I'm going to get a nice little number 4 cat's tongue. Hello, little cat's tongue. It says it right there. Cat's tongue, langue de chat. Says it in 3 languages, no less.
Angela would like to know, if you're painting on a black canvas, should you paint your lips in white so the red pops?
So here's what I would say. If you're painting golden paint, you don't have to. It's going to do its thing. If you're painting Liquitex Basics or Winsor & Newton or the Galleria or, you know, System 3 or Plaid or any of that, yes. Yes, paint them white first. And your teeth too.
Mm-hmm.
And your teeth too. All needs to be white. Doesn't need to be perfect. So here's one thing I'll tell you right now. If you were to freehand this in, your first big challenge would be that you would make the teeth too small. You'd be little tiny baby teeth in here.
That's true.
Number 1 new artist thing that they do when they do teeth
Is it make small teeth?
Little tiny scary teeth. I mean, it would be very scary, but it's not ideally what you're maybe going for.
Right.
I'll just take that out, my nice little shadow there. See? Already got some lips. Super fun stuff. Now, this type of realism, when we're talking about the red on red and the blood and stuff like this is not hyperrealism, right? But this is a really good beginner's introduction to the principles of being more realistic in our painting. Because it isn't about like how realistically I can paint the painting, right? Because if I spend, 100 hours on anything, I can pretty much get whatever I feel like.
Right.
Right? And that's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. But what it is you guys getting to understand a little bit more about painting realistically. So when you spend 100 hours on it, you get a result you're pretty blown away by.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some of the teeth I'm bringing a black line through. I might come back with blue, but I like to put the little shadow in there. That's gappy, though, so, we'll have to correct for it. Dentists everywhere are like, stop giving the vampire gaps! I had a dentist once in an art class, so I'm actually pretty familiar with the weird things that they yell out of the blue.
So you just got all that painted in there, black there.
Yeah, that's all it says black. And I'm going to make sure, look around your canvas for the little white pops.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to move any texture out that's kind of built up because I want it smooth. I wanted a solid field of black like a black hole. Blue ball goes down the hole, said Daffy Duck to Bugs Bunny. All right. Okay. Here we go. So excited about this. I'm going to rinse out this brush, and I'm going to take the black water and put it aside. And all the rest of my water, I'm going to have clean water. I'm going to sippy my coffee, let you guys have a minute to, if you're painting live, to sort of catch up. take any questions if there have been any.
Oh, there's been a bunch here. So Olga was just asking, will you be doing anything like this in December?
Pretty much I'm going to have to, right?
Mm-hmm. We haven't really decided on whether we're going to be doing the, I don't know how many days of
how
Christmas.
we're going to frame the Christmas event. There's been some other holiday events pitched. Our team gets together, Don and I, in the morning, and we go, what crazy thing do we think we could survive?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a song that has some days of Christmas, but that seems long.
No, and also I'm not going to do 8 Lords of Leaping. That's just not. No,
that seems.
I just like, I don't even want to paint it. And that's just too many partridges in a pear tree. I'll paint the pear tree, but I don't want to paint all the partridges. It's just too much. I'm going to put out some paint. It's just too many birds, guys. It's too many birds. So now I am using real cadmium, and that does give me an incredible glow to the pigment. But there's new products out if you want to avoid cadmium pigments for allergies.
Oh, yeah. And how many hoots on a scale of 1 to 3? What's our difficulty rating?
I think this is a 2 hoot.
A 2 on a 1 to 3?
Yeah, this cap is a 3 hoot, but on a scale of 1 to 3. Oh my gosh.
I'll get it after
Everybody
this.
intend that I'm going to screw this cap on correctly. Thank you. Okay. You all willed it. The delay and your intention all just came together at the same time. I'm going to put out my alizarin. And you're going to see see how different these two are?
Yeah.
This is the difference you're looking for in your reds. Even if you're painting some different reds. Even if you're painting April get a warm red and a cool red. Mm-hmm. And when I say warm, it's more to the orange and yellow. When I say cool, it's more to the blue. Which one makes you go brr? Which one looks more like a sunset and which one looks more like blood?
Oh, yeah, I see.
You know? Strawberry, wine.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm not trying to be so bossy. This is what you're...
So also, they were... I see what you're saying, though, because one is darker.
Yeah. Yeah, and so, but, you know, I mean, like, I give you my exact colors in my paint, and I show you what I paint with. I'm not tricking you. So, right?
Angie loves this even more than the Rocky Horror Lips. She's like, I love this so much.
We've been needing to do this.
Yes.
Yes, and I did intentionally skip the Twilight reference on my social media posts because my vampires don't sparkle. No, just kidding. I'm not starting nothing. I'm just saying I come from a more Buffy generation.
Right.
And we met at a Vampire the Masquerade game.
That's true, we did.
You know, again, not sparkly.
No. There was no sparkling vampires. Well, I can't say that. There were some sparkling vampires at our game.
That's no one's fault.
That's
nobody's fault.
But it wasn't because of Edward.
I'm going to do something kind of crazy.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to paint my teeth in blue. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to take a little of my blue paint. I might add a smidge of white to it, but mostly I just want it to be blue. You can add a smidge of black. See? Mm-hmm. Smidge. See how I'm coming from the end? I go squeak, tick. Then bring it over here very timidly. And I'm going to paint my teeth in blue.
Tommy
with my number 4 cat's tongue.
Tommy would like to know, how does someone paint with cinnamon and read the posts at the same time?
Dude, I don't know, because guys, I actually every once in a while will paint along with the tutorial instructor to understand what your experience is. I can't paint with myself because I know what I'm going to do, right? And I have resisted doing a Mystery Science 3000 of tutorial shows for years now. But I do every once in a while do that, and it's hard. It is hard to be in the chat. It's hard to follow along. Some of the changes we've made in our show, which I'm happy to say have really influenced the platform, like picture-in-picture and stuff like that, is about how hard that is.
Yeah.
You know? So see? You're like, wait, why are my teeth blue?
Yeah.
Because newscasters, guys.
Wait, what?
When you want teeth to look whiter, start blue. It's a trick.
That's what newscasters say.
Well, they put on slightly blue tinted lipstick. Or they used to. Now they just get capped.
Oh. Well, okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
Oh, I smudged. Look, I smudged. This doesn't matter, though. It's fine.
Doesn't matter?
No.
Okay.
But I did it, and I see it, and I own it. It's my reality. It happened. But yeah, it's really hard to paint along with tutorials. So, you know, I get it. I get it. Though if you're doing it live, if you're participating in the 13 Days of Halloween live, first of all, let me art high five you because that's so cool. And two, know that that's a challenge. That's its own challenge. To paint live with somebody like this is almost like a game.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some of you are playing it. You guys need to start saying in your posts, like, I did this live.
Now, we're going to be doing some. We'll be talking about more games like that where we're going to be doing live stuff.
Yeah.
That'll be coming up here towards the end of the year. Now
Well,
that we've got
and at the end of the week, we're all pumpkin carving together.
We're going to be doing the big pumpkin carving event together. We've got some special stuff coming up on that. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. Oh my gosh. So
Gonna carve some special pumpkins.
So yeah, we should
make your neighbors go, wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have to redecorate their whole front yard, look at you from across the fence going, "Urgh."
You've got some designs that you're going to be putting up for those, yeah?
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
It
I'm
is
excited
pretty
about that.
special. I'm going to get a little black, and I'm just going to make sure I clean up around my teeth where I need to clean up around my teeth. Right? Where I need to clean up around my teeth. That's all. Just clean up. Smooth out. Be all good. Oh, that's nice. I'm going to
Yeah.
rinse out my brush and let my blue teeth rest.
Your blue teeth.
Blue. I'm going to use a lot of my alizarin. I love this color. If it's something you can get, I highly recommend it. I'm going to take a little of my Doc's Purple and put it in there. And I'm going to come underneath. And I'm going to brush stroke kind of a curved stroke. See how this is curved?
Yeah.
This is going to help imply the shape of my lip. When I come to the center of my lip, the curve will come kind of vertical.
And then break.
And then fan to the right. See that? So it fans to the left over on the left-hand side, and it fans to the right over on the right-hand side.
Now, the little smudge down there, that you'll be able to paint that out, no
Oh,
problem.
that'll go away.
Okay. So that's just from where your hand touched the
That's
wet,
just,
the wet
yeah, see,
paint.
boo-boo-boo-boo.
Oh, yeah.
A boo-bood.
So it's sort of,
A boo-bood.
it's not intentional, but not a big deal.
It's not intentional, and it's also not a big deal.
If you were super stressed, you could just put a little white paint on there, I guess.
Yeah. Just enjoying this. Just enjoying this. Just curving this right up to the edge of the lip. The curve, this applied brush stroke matters. I never tell you unless it matters. But this one does. Oh, wait. I gotta be careful about singing when I'm painting.
Why?
Got a lot of comments. Not a singing show, full disclosure.
Or math or English.
Or math or English or makeup or fashion or how to wear your hat the right direction without feathers in your face. It's a painting show.
Although occasionally we do touch on sci-fi, science stuff. We do astronomy stuff. We do some horror. We do some, especially B-horror. Like,
Well, I'm not saying we
moving
don't
it-
cover it. I'm just saying it's,
those are our peripheral overlapping areas.
yeah.
Geekery.
Our geekery. Our geekery is real and strong. And I'm not sorry for it. All right. So see how we've just blended this up and we've got that going?
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to also mix my purple into my alizarin.
Tara says she likes your singing.
Oh, thank you. You know what?
So does
I
Mary.
sing because I'm happy, not because I should go on American Idol. And you should sing for those reasons too. Maybe you should go on American Idol. I don't know. You could be like, seriously like Jennifer Hudson. Different show. Anyhow. Well, no, she started out there, and now they're all flipping shows and changing phone companies. I can't keep track no more. Hear me now, guys. Totally changed phone companies, and I feel weird about it. I really do. All right, so I'm doing another thing where I'm got my little shadow, and I'm blending this out, see? Blending this out. Loading up with my burgundy, and blending it out. Blending. So much fun to blend. So much fun to blend. And now I'm going to come here. lots more purple and burgundy. And I'm going to make sure that I go under my drip with this dark line. I'm going to even come up a bit. See how we do? Laying that in.
Cool.
There we go. Our dark value is laid in here. Now I'm going to get more burgundy, but just burgundy, and just paint in the rest of this lip. And this stroke is going to be curved like this.
Okay.
If you need to rinse out to get it to just the crimson, go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and do that. See, already the black's starting to vanish and
Oh, yeah.
be less important in the space. By the time we get all the layers here,
Yeah. Earlier, Anne was saying, I have a freckle on my lip, and that could totally be a freckle.
there you go. And how cool that you have a freckle on your lip. That's pretty darn cool. Freckles are cool. I did not feel that growing up in California.
It is hard to have uniqueness when everyone is trying to be the same.
Oh my goodness, I'm telling you what, right? If you overpaint your red, you just come back with your black. Okay, so don't even feel weird about it. I don't know if you can see the overpaint, I just wanted to show you that. Right? And then I can come right here. So now instead of being a base of white, it's a base of red. And this depth is going to really help us. And the transparency of this paint is helping me. See how it helps me?
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes a paint being very transparent, like if you're painting basics right now, you'd be like, woo, it's my jam.
Yeah, it naturally does a nice glazing.
Yeah. Everything has a feature. Every art material has a strength and a weakness. And you just balance those all out and play to their strengths. And sometimes even what would be a weakness, if you're trying to do another media, in your media is a strength. So I'm going to bring these brush strokes back down, like you do. I'm just making sure that there's a base of red on these lips. So you can see that this is easier for many of you than just painting over the black paint.
I like how much that little red pops at the end.
Yeah. And I'm just like, look, I'm just being like, wow. Not really that worried, am I, on that glaze part. I'm going to rinse out my brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up my black on my number 4. And I'm going to very neatly come around and trim up the lips. What do you know? Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
Let's trim them up. You can do this at the end. You can do this now.
You're just kind of trimming that out a little bit.
Yeah, it helps me keep my mental space clear.
And you're also, I'm zooming in there to make sure you can see, because you're making sure that there are no little bubbles that are left in there. And you can see there's a couple down there towards the edge.
Yeah, and I'll have to come back with like my red. When you want to get rid of those, you just come back with your red and fill those in. See?
Yeah.
Soften that edge. Anywhere you have a bubble you don't like. Generally, by the time you get all the layers up, it's pretty good. Let's get some teeth going here.
Some teeth.
Some teethers going, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a little of my black, add a smidge of blue to it, wipe off my brush, and come and get some of this on my teeth. So it's not a white, right? You can even give a little blue to it. And I'm going to start highlighting the edge of the tooth and most of the body.
Yeah.
And it's a very dry brush. See how much is just showing through?
Oh, yeah.
There's a shadow under the lip on the teeth.
You're all focused, I can tell.
Yeah, I am. I'm all focused.
You're all like, I'm going to get this tooth. I'm going to get it.
I'm going to get my tooth.
Get it painted.
I'm just trying to get this first layer. This is the first layer that knocks the blue back and starts to create the teeth. You know, and these are blood-soaked teeth, so, you know, it's a thing.
Well, Anne would
I'm
like
dipping in my water to improve my flow because it's kind of eh.
Now, we don't give Cinnamon the chat because she tends to read the chat and get a little distracted by the chat.
I'm strengthening the line of his tooth with a little more coverage. See that?
Yeah. So I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read you here something from Anne.
Okay.
So you can see this. So she says, "Huge hugs and thank you. My paintings and skills have improved so much from watching you. I love you so much, and wanted to say thank you to you and your John and your mom for all of that you do and." Just lots of big hugs. She's going on and on about, the cameras and things. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much. We so appreciate, like, literally all the help. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys, we really appreciate you guys. And, you know, I love to pass along some of the messages here to Cinnamon sometimes.
I like to hear them.
You know, she doesn't get a chance to read the chat, so.
No, I'm in the comments after.
Yeah, so that's a really important thing. Oh my gosh! Wow, we have over 400 people here.
Do we? We're out of bubbles.
Wow, we guiltily are out of bubbles, and I've tried to order bubbles 3 times, so you know.
What's up with the bubble shortage? Does everybody have a bubble machine secretly in their art studio now?
So we use this is the truth. So we use a pickup service for our groceries, which we love, and they were out of stock of bubbles. And so we then went to the local place. I went to the local what do you call it, pharmacy, and they were out of bubbles, right? Not little bubbles, not big bubbles, not any bubbles. It was like there's
all the bubbles are gone.
The bubbles are from the local vicinity. There is it's the end of summer. Bubbles are drying up. I'm gonna have to I went to go order bubbles online.
I'm just tipping these teeth with some white.
And you can see I'm having trouble with my bubbles. So I'm gonna have to make a run to the party supply store and I'll get some bubbles. You are. Because I do have bubbles, but they're glow in the dark bubbles.
But they're glow in the dark
bubbles. And they
bubbles.
stain everything. So
yeah, that's bad.
So I'm sorry.
That stains the artwork.
I've gone on and on about bubbles now.
Well, in that time we've painted the teeth. So what we've done is we took our white and we toned it with a little bit of black and blue.
Yes.
And we toned that white, so it's a little bit off white. And the reason we don't want it to be perfectly white, right, is because then we won't be able to get our reflections or our highlights on our teeth. And that's really what the teeth are about, is getting those right reflections before we hit our teeth with the shadow and the blood stain. Like, I just say that so seriously. Before we hit our teeth with the shadow and the blood stain, and while this is having a minute to rest, I can take a little bit of time with my crimson here, and I can come between my teeth. See, this is just crimson. And right here in the center, he's trying to work out the bubbles for you. Can you hear him being so busy behind me? I am just painting a little bit of my red. Can you see that? Where it would be like my tongue and stuff? Let me see if I can get that better. It's over the dark. It barely shows through. Go. It's just a little bit of glow of red. You'll be glad you did it. Right? You'll be glad.
I was on the wrong camera.
You'll be super, super glad that you did it. Oh, do we have them now?
I'm going to see. I'm not sure
I heard the thing make the noise.
It may be threatening.
It may be threatening.
Yeah, I'll have to see.
It threatened a couple bubbles, and the dog came and got both of them.
Did he?
You can take a little of your CAD red, and don't rinse out your brush. If you want to add just a smidge of a little highlight inside there that could be like an implied tongue. See? Don't worry, babe. It's okay. So what we're doing is we're we're putting this color that's in shadow in the mouth in shadow. Rinse, 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 rinse. Now while I'm here, I'm going to take a little of my white paint, and I may get just a smidge of my blue, but I just want it toned, right? Just not perfect. And I'm going to come here on the edge of this tooth, just this tip, right? And then on the inside here, see that? How that pops that tooth? I think it's a little blown out because oh, look, it's sort of bubbling. Again, along this little edge here, popping this tooth. The right side of this one could use a little highlight. See how these teeth are starting to pop? You can give this one just a little bit of a... And then I'm going to highlight just the edges of my lower teeth. Right? Just coming in and dashing the edges of these lower teeth. Look at that. More on the right hand side here because of where my light source is. So that's looking pretty good. Give that a, see, they're starting to glow. Now I'm going to take a little of my crimson and my purple and come under your lip, and we're going to make a little bit of a shadow.
Now they would like to know when if we can do a Sherpa dance before you do your highlights.
Okay, yes.
They're like we're so ready to do a Sherpa dance, but we know you got to get your lips in.
If you got to get a little blue in there, get a little blue in there. What you want is just a very cool shadow underneath here. Right? Look at that. What does that become? Cool shadow, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it makes those teeth start to really pop. I'm going to dip my brush in water, improve the flow of my paint like you do, and make sure you have a nice shadow around this tooth. Look at that. And a bit coming along here. In shadow.
Yeah.
All right. Before I do the highlights in the blood, let's do a Sherpa dance.
All right. They were so excited about it. So we have got over 400 people here hanging out with us.
Your teeth.
And they are, let me go, I've got my music here. We've got it somewhere, oh, there it is. And when we get to have over 300 people here, we like to try to celebrate and that we're having a good time and we get up and dance because it's so rare that you have this many people who get together. And I'm going to scoot the bubbles closer to it and let Cinnamon say, but it's so rare we get to have so many people here celebrating art like this that we like to say, get up and dance.
Goofy. Yeah. If you're serious about your art, probably we're not doing that today. Being serious, but we're seriously getting good at our art. It's foaming. It's a foam party.
But thank you guys
for coming. The Sherpa foam party in black light.
We love doing this, guys. This is our absolute favorite thing to get to do. Mm-hmm. And being part of your art experience and your art journey is some of the most blessed things that we get to do. So
thank you.
Thank you guys for letting us do this.
Thank you for letting us in your lives and being part of all your creative process. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. There isn't anything more special. That one
I keep looking over John, but it makes it look like I'm not looking at you.
We just look at each other. John. We're just looking at each other because we're on this journey with you.
The new studio setup. Where will I see you?
Well, you'll have a little monitor camera.
I'll have to have the John monitor.
You'll have a little monitor camera where I can look at you. See, this is what happens when we don't use real bubble solution. Is the bubbles gets in fits and spurts and.
Well, I'm going to get my red just loaded up on my brush. Now, if you're check your red. You want it to be somewhat transparent, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to just make sure that my teeth have a bit of this staining. See? Little staining here of the blood.
The blood.
Well, you know, like you do. He's been eating.
I want to paint your blood.
Right? And a little red there. I'm just staining this with the crimson.
Don't push that button.
So see how these layer up on each other?
They do. They do. And I guess the more blood you add to your teeth, the more intense they might be feeling.
But teeth are all about these sort of multicolors. And then when you have a nice, you want to get your nice little layering, right?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever it is, however much, you know, however bloody, right? However bloody it ends up being. And it can be any level of bloody. I'm going to get my pure white. Oh, nope. My paint wasn't dry.
Oh, you're going to dry that off?
I'm going to scrape it off first. I'll let that have a little moment. It's going to think in the corner for a second because it didn't behave, and I'm going to tell it what for. And then when it's dry, I'm going to come in and hit it with some highlights. So while this is having a think, while it's having a dry, let's come in and talk a little bit about our drip.
Okay.
So my drip is, again, I'm going back into my purple and my crimson, and I'm going to come along my lip right here, deepening this color right here. And then I'm going to come right back in with my purple and my crimson. And I'm going to deepen this color right here, layering it up. It's quite dark. If you need to improve the flow of your paint, go ahead and do that. As I'm coming in the center of it, I'm going to go into my CAD. And I'm going to start blending. See, this is a curved stroke. See, I'm curving the stroke.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have as soft of an edge here as I can. So I'm still working while this is still wet. So a little of my crimson, a little of my CAD. Coming along our deep edge, and then making sure that I'm just paying attention. This is all sort of like this smoothie blood. See, I'm softening it. Going back and forth and wiggling back and forth. I'm softening. I'm come over here and soften it. So a lot of times what I'm doing with my brush stroke is I'm either trying to create hard defined edges or soft edges.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm softening my edges. I'm going to come and get just a little more crimson and CAD. I'm going to just come right here and pull a little reflection. See?
Now, Michelle was asking,
Highlighting that in.
when she's very new, so how would you suggest her figuring out where to start painting?
Real simple projects, because when you're really, really new, you're just trying to figure out how to get paint on your brush and not mix all your clumps of paint together, and how to deal with how fast your paint is drying and how much water your brush takes, and just, it's like there's just a symphony of little events happening in your journey when you start out that you need to give yourself about 10, 20 paintings to figure out.
Yeah.
That are about my paint, my canvas, and my brush.
Now,
And talking to your community, like come by and join the Facebook group. You know, come by and join talk to other artists on the journey, because then they're going to be able to say, been there, done that, get it, you're fine. Just when you start to think, I lost my mind, why did I think I could art? They're going to tell you that you can.
Now,
I'm going to tell you that you can.
do you have a collection of paintings that would be easy for them to work with?
I have a collection of paintings. It's the 30 under 30,
Oh, those are a good one.
right?
Yeah.
And the One Hoop playlist. So
Yeah.
those are all about and very easy painting tutorials. So these are all broken into some of the easier processes, you know, and that's really all about less layers. Like this is 2 hoots, so there's some layers to this. It's not really hard to paint, but there's a lot of layers.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm softening this here, like you do. I'm going to come back, purple, red. See how dark we're keeping it? blending that. Because this part, where it's heavy, what I'm doing here, and then I'm going to, this little edge here, what I'm doing here is showing not only light reflection and shadow, but the depth of the drop of blood. That's what we're working on here. This curve I'm doing on my stroke is about showing that this is bent. And then the shadow is about where the depth of this is. Now I'm going to take a little of my red. I'm going to come down into this drop. See here on the right hand, left hand side. So I'm doing that. Creating some reflection in my drop here, aren't I?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe a little bit right here where it's heavy. So if you ever did the 10 easy steps to a realistic water drop, same thing.
Jen just said she loves bubbles too. And for her 40th last weekend, she had bubbles filled with glitter.
Jen, I respect that.
And she says she's going to send us where she got those.
Jen, I respect that even more.
That's pretty
Thank
awesome.
you, Jen.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna look into that more.
I'm gonna take my number 4 cat stug and I'm just gonna load a little white on it. I'm gonna come back here, put that back. Just make sure that the edge of my teeth have a little bit of a. See?
Yeah.
We're just making sure these have a shine to them. Just little reflections help these teeth pop. Sometimes it's all in the reflection, folks.
Yes.
You don't want them all to be white. You want reflections. You want parts of them to be white.
Parts of them.
Parts of them to be white. So now I'm going to have a lot of fun. Now I'm going to come and I'm going to grab a little of my crimson and a little of my cad.
Could you push that forward just a touch?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
perfect.
see how I'm
There
just
it goes.
getting, I pull out a little crimson. And these are loosely mixed. I'm not totally perfectly mixing them. I don't care if they're totally perfectly incorporated. And I'm going to come to the top of my lips. And I'm going to pull this richer color down into that first dark color I pulled in. So how I do this is I dip in water, improve my flow. Imagine that you're edging with like a lip liner. Right? And then pull it down. This first layer. Pull it down. And let the curve of your brush stroke also imply the plumpness and shape of your lip. See how it's doing? Little crimson. This is a way to create a mid-range between your cool red and your warm red. That's all that's happening here. We're just creating a mid-range. Again, lip liner. Because you want this nice crisp edge. And then pull that shape down. Because these are like inflated tubes. Maybe this particular vampire was feeling a little vain and decided to, for a minute, have plump lips before it discovered its regenerative capacity made that impossible. Just saying. Vampire rules. Not all of them are good. Because if you were born like a not attractive vampire, you're probably staying a not attractive vampire.
Right.
Sorry. Just weird things I think about. All right. More crimson and cad. Mixed 1 to 1. 1 part crimson to 1 part cad.
You're still using the same brush?
Yeah, I know. It makes
okay.
it seem like there are no other brushes. But there are. You could use a number 4 round. You could use a number 4 bright. You just want something that gives you nice control in this space. And I just happen to like how this brush lets me get some softer edges than I can traditionally get with acrylic. So again, 1 part crimson, 1 part red. I'm coming here, lip liner, lip liner, lip liner. That's starting to be a thing, isn't it? It is starting to be a thing. Let's come here, lip liner. Lip liner. Oh no. You know it's great. All right. So we're starting to get that depth. See how these reds layer, 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 and the values create highlights, create shadows, start to create form. Rinse out your brush, my friends. Rinse it out. Crimson, purple, 1 to 1, right? This is instead of black, this is our shadow. You're going to come under your lip, and you're going to pull this stroke curved. If you're going to the right-hand side, curved to the right. See it?
Yeah.
This is going to be the shadow. And now that it's layering, you're like, oh, I thought that was like a black or something, and it was never black.
That's crazy.
It's all about the value differences between these two pieces. And see how we're just curving that shape up? You better shape up. And what's nice about this is this impossibly red lip, which is so full and so rich. I mean, that's just believable, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a vampire-y sense. There we go. Look at that. Pulling it up. Pull up. Curve up. Curve up. Underneath here, definitely want a shadow right there. Curving up, curve up, curve up. Guess we're going to put another one. Get my purple red. I'm going to come right underneath this lip. Softly dusting back and forth this slightly darker shadow right here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can then start curving a little stroke into it so that it's rounded. Pulling it up. But I'm just wanting, I might get more crimson on here at the edge. Just this deeper value here at this point of the lip because I've got the blood red and I have the red lips. Ah, so much red to contend with. And this is how I do it.
That's really coming together. I love how they look so roundy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really about those different value layers you were talking about.
Right. You're working with at least 3 shades of value, 4 if you can do it. The more realistic you are, the more gradations of value you'll have. I would say hyperrealism is 50 Shades of Grey. Sorry.
You're so funny. Making art jokes.
They're not even good ones. All right, so I'm going to take my pure cadmium. Right?
Pure cadmium.
Pure cadmium. And I'm going to come along the top of this lip in a very refined, delicate little stroke. See how careful I'm being?
Yep.
And I'm going to come right underneath here, and then I'm going to pull this down. Softly. I let a lot of what's underneath it show through. These are just little pops. Whoa, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Just carefully dusting this in. Like you do. Oh, so gorge. It's a little blown out, babe.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll dial that down for you.
Okay.
On the
red.
See
Can't see all the, I don't know if you can see it on the up-close cam.
Yeah, probably a little better.
Okay, maybe you can on the up-close cam. How are we doing, guys? Is this fun? Is this enjoyable?
Oh, yeah. You know what? We've had over 400 people here this entire time enjoying painting along with you, so I think they're having a pretty good time.
Just pulling this down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just pulling this down. So now we have this very red lip, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can come back with just pure crimson if you need to. And soften between. It's a super nice effect. Soften. You don't have to soften, but you can. Makeup artists will enjoy that part. Right, so there you are. You've got that going there. Now, I'm going to get some of my cad. And I'm going to put some right here. And I'm definitely going to see this stroke too, how soft it is?
Yeah.
This is because this is wet. And I'm smidging some to that side. Let's smidge some up here. Smidging being super technical. Right? Then you're going to want to come here and stroke this lip down. See?
Yeah. Yeah, that cad red is right on the edge of where the camera is like, I can either see the white or
I'm
the
serious,
red.
The first time one of our cameras can see the colors I paint with, I'm going to lose my mind in excitement. Also, I feel such regret that people will never know how awesome I was. All right. No, I'm just kidding. I'm taking a little bit of my alizarin in my cad red, and I'm going to definitely, on this little edge of this drop and a little bit here, add that highlight.
Yeah.
I just want that there. Just make me feel better. And then I'm going to come right here. See? Creating some layers. Layers, layers, layers.
Yeah.
All right. When that's all in, and we know where everything is, and if we like how it looks, take a minute, take a pause. Do you feel your lips? Do you like their shapes?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You put your highlights on them.
We're going to put a little highlight on it. All right, so I'm going to let this rest for a minute. I think this is dry enough. It can take it. I'll know in a minute, because if it's pink, it can't. And I'm going to make a little stroke here at the center. And another couple little strokes. Some of them, that'll be too long.
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
That means that I'm going to come back with my dark color.
Fix it.
And go, no, 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 no.
You just removed some of it.
That's just too long. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Load back up. Now, I might do some wide reflections right here. This is that kind of pucker part of that lip. And then I might come down and add some reflections that are in the creases, right? This is about the lips being moist. And what I'm looking at the side is the original painting that I did. So if you guys are like, what is she looking at? I'm just trying to remember what I did. I'm going to put one right here. There we go. Maybe a couple little, see?
I do see it.
So, and then remember, we're paying attention to our previous strokes of where the brush stroke went to determine how these little light reflections might possibly go. Then I can have some right here, down here.
Some reflections on the lips.
Lower lip.
Yeah.
Some are shorter, some are longer. You can put them exactly where I have them if you want this exact result. You can be experimental if you feel like. But the point is that you're trying to make where that light is shining. Now, on the blood red lip, I need a pretty big light reflection right here. I'm on the edge of my brush, and I'm making a pretty soft highlight. Thing. Do, 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 do.
I like that reflection.
Put some over here. It's really just about making sure that I'm telling the story of light sources. There we go. How's that?
Pretty good. I like it. I like it. Mona's making me laugh out here. She said that she's actually had a chance to work with some vampires.
Look at that. I like this one even better.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
See, there you go.
So, no. So Mona was saying that she's actually worked with some vampires in the
She
past.
has?
Yeah. She said it was a big pain in the neck, though.
Oh, Mona! I love you. All right, I'm going to sign. Now,
You're
on
gonna
this
sign
one, I'm actually going to be cheeky. I normally don't sign in like a bright, heavy color like red.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing wrong with it. I just don't. Because signatures always pull the eye. They
Yes.
impact the piece. And I just like to think about that a little bit when I'm painting.
Oh, where are you going?
But in
You're
this
gonna confuse
particular
me.
case,
Okay.
I thought it was a little cheeky to come here.
I noticed you signed it upside down.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Right. So not like overwhelming, not like let's destroy the whole piece with our signature. Right? I don't want to put it just right here in the corner because if I had a big mark right here in the corner, where would your eye go?
Oh yeah.
All the time. Here at least it's all kept
Kind of.
together. Do you want to do the thing where
Yeah. Let's get a good look at that. So you have to, I'll zoom out a little bit there, and then you can tilt it. You have to tilt it down a little bit, and then back up. There you go. There you go. Somewhere in there. It's got a little sheen to it. Tilt it down just a touch more. Oh, there we go. We got it now. So there you guys can see. Here's a good shot of it, and we'll make sure that we get the picture up for you a little later. Okay, we got it here.
Okay.
I think we're okay.
So what do? In this particular one, because we all are painting with different materials, we left our lips themselves white and painted just the area around them and inside the mouth black. We used a cool red and a warm red. In this particular case over here, you can see that. It's the crimson and the cad red medium. And we cooled it with a purple instead of black. We used a blue as a base for our teeth, so our teeth would be cool and receded into the mouth. And then just layered up shadows, and we kept building them up. But they weren't just white, and they're bigger than we expected, right? We played the two colors of red against each other to show blood red on blood red lips. And then we showed even some blood staining in the teeth with a little reflection. We used a shine highlight to show that this is all very, very shiny. And we thought a little bit about our signature at the end.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we covered today. I cannot wait to see what you paint. What day are we on? Is this 8? I think this is 8.
This is, oh my. Yeah, that sounds about right.
8. Day 8 of 13
1,
days
2,
of Halloween.
3,
At the
4,
end of
5,
this,
6,
what are
7,
we doing
8.
together?
Yeah.
We're carving some pumpkins. Pictures of those will be starting to post at the beginning of next week. In transit, in progress, all those things so you guys can get excited. Tips about stuff that you might want to know about when you're purchasing your pumpkins. Ideas, creativity we're going to share. Definitely.
You've got some interesting traceables for us.
We're going to have great traceables for you to use on your pumpkins. Drop your pumpkin carves in the Art Sherpa Official. Come by the website, upload them. Remember, it's all free. Over there, you can just share with us your pumpkins.
Come be
and your
part
art.
of the fun.
And there's even live chat, so you can visit your friends there if you need to continue chatting after the show.
We love you guys. Thank you for being part of our journey.
Want to see you at the easel really soon. Bye-bye.